This is the Extreme Stewardship Podcast, where we usually talk about getting better at making things good and good at making things better. This next episode was supposed to be about beauty. That was already hard enough because beauty is harder to articulate than order and productivity. And if you live here in Spokane, or you've been following the news, you know that when I look out my window right now, I don't see much beauty. I see ash. I see smoke. I see frantic neighbors throwing what they can into the back of their vehicles and then inching along in traffic hour after hour trying to get out of the area. I hear my kids asking me if our house is still there. I hear the constant buzzing of my phone as emergency alerts pour in, and I see myself checking the Watch Duty app every 30 seconds when I know it'll be a few hours before there's any new information. I hear sirens from every direction. I see brutal winds driving destruction up and down our hills. I see law enforcement wasting precious energy dealing with stupid people, sometimes with evil people. People who have forgotten in their panic or in their souls that there is more to the world than themselves. I see all this and much more, and none of it is beautiful. Neighborhoods reduced to ashes. Some of Spokane's most beautiful vistas inaccessible for who knows how long. Today's my daughter's birthday, and our birthday tradition is for the two of us to go kayaking in Riverside State Park. It'll be a while before anyone goes kayaking in Riverside State Park. Every friend who visits us here in Spokane, we take to Bolin Pitcher because it's beautiful. Today, Bolin Pitcher is not beautiful. Beauty is diversity of sight, of sound, of thought, and one thing fire does better than anything is eliminate diversity. Beauty is an invitation to come closer, go deeper, see more, because there's more to see. And fire steals that away. We can't get closer, we can't go deeper, and there's nothing to see there anyways, because it's all the same. Every house, or what's left of it, looks the same. Every yard looks the same. Green grass becomes gray. Brown trees become gray. Blue skies become gray. Contrast is king in art, and in the aftermath of a fire, there's no contrast because there's no difference. It all looks the same. This podcast is about improving creation, and it's hard to know how to improve creation when it's on fire. This episode was supposed to be about beauty, but there's not a lot of that around me right now. I'll get there. I have my family. I have my home. The fire line came to the edge of our neighborhood, but the wind stayed just enough more north than east to spare us from looking up at a freestanding chimney and wondering where we go from here. Fire. I doubt there's anything in all creation that covers such a wide swath of potential for creation improvement and creation destruction. Without fire, we'd have no tools. No warmth in the winter, no light in the darkness, no reset button for overgrown land. Fire purifies, fire cleans, fire brings order and productivity and virtue and fun and yes, even beauty. A burning candle sparkles and reflects and flickers around a well-decorated room. A campfire reveals the smiling, s'more-smeared face of a little boy who can't believe he's allowed to stay up this late. Metal glows in the smith, fat sizzles on the grill, and even the color spectrum of fire itself is beautiful. And yet fire does such awful things. Fire disorders a community, stops production in its tracks, turns fun into terror, steals the homes of the virtuous and the vicious indiscriminately, and turns all that is beautiful into a stale, gray, hopeless, colorless, uninviting pile of nothing. I have many more thoughts about this, and I will return to beauty soon. But as I prepare that episode, I find repeatedly that much of what is beautiful in music particularly is a function of its telling the story in which we now live. Music holds us in tension and refuses to resolve, and we find that beautiful because it's true. Some songs hold tension for a brief moment, like those in Spokane for whom Avista turned off the power on Saturday in anticipation of a possible event and then turned it back on as soon as possible on Sunday. Some songs make us wait a bit longer, like my family, who had to evacuate and whose home was without power for 2 days. And some songs withhold resolution until long after we feel they should have. And maybe they never fully resolve because they were trying to tell only part of the story, and to resolve within that mortal frame would have been to tell a lie. And I feel that as I write this episode because it's only Tuesday. Barely 72 hours have passed since the sirens began, and many of us are weeks and months from anything like a resolution. And I want to resist the temptation to wrap this all up in a bow with some trite words about beauty from ashes, because we're not there yet. We're still in the ashes.